Third take. We're gonna have fun with this. All right, what's going on, guys? You're hanging out with your boy Pops, and I am back with another video. If you're new to the channel, thank you for tuning in. This is a space where I talk about all things relevant to hip-hop, or just, I try to give my 2 cents on anything that I think is interesting. So if you haven't checked the last video, the last upload was about the recent Kendrick Lamar diss track. So I'll give my whole take on the big three, Kendrick Lamar, Drake, and J. Cole. So you're going to check that out. I'm going to leave a link in somewhere in the description. So yeah, check that out. Let me know what you think. If you do like the style of content and want to show some support, please do subscribe to the channel. And better yet, also, hit that like button and notification bell so you can be notified every time that I've got an upload. All right, now with that being said, let's move on. Today I wanted to talk about the recent allegations surrounding P Diddy. I feel like the story is getting quite a lot of traction. It's received international coverage, and it's very disturbing. And just like you, or just like the rest of the world, we're all waiting to hear, I guess, how the whole thing unravels. It's very, very interesting. I'm getting very Jeffrey Epstein vibes and Harvey Weinstein. I guess there's a lot of parallels with those kind of stories, and it appears that all these people that Diddy was affiliated with, so I'm talking about the likes of Jay-Z, comedians, Kevin Hart, Rick Ross, French Montana, this guy was, Diddy was very well connected. But it appears that all these people have gone silent, and no one is, speaking out on Diddy's behalf. No one's trying to, show some support, or, even trying to, I guess, give any other perspectives of their relationship with Diddy. So that's just very interesting. There's a quote by Louis C.K. Louis C.K. Famously says something along the lines of, you don't really want to know who your real friends are, because it's never who you think it is. And obviously Louis makes that reference in relation to his own experience, having gone through what he went through, if and realizing, I guess, I suppose that your people that you thought are your friends rarely are the ones who come to your aid. There's one man out there who is having a field day with this story. And that man is none other than 50 Cent. So 50 Cent has been trolling the hell out of Diddy ever since these stories came to light. And he seems to be genuinely having, getting enjoyment from seeing Diddy's empire collapsing. And that's the part that's the part that I wanted to talk to. I wanted to shed some light into 50 and Diddy's relationship. Why does 50 hate Diddy so much? How do they, I guess, what was the history there? So that's the part that I wanted to talk about today. So this ongoing beef between 50 and Diddy goes back to the 2000s. So 50, before he was signed to Eminem and Dr. Dre and Shady Aftermath, when he was an up-and-coming artist, 50 wrote songs for other artists, and he wrote songs for Diddy. There was an opportunity for 50 to be signed to Bad Boy Records, which is Diddy's record label. But I think at the time, Diddy passed on that opportunity because at that time, 50 was still very heavily involved in the streets, involved in various beefs. I suppose that, it was too much of a liability, so Diddy passed on that opportunity to sign 50. 50 obviously went on to be signed to Eminem, and which was the best decision for him, and everything ended up working out anyway. This is where things kind of shifted, because from that point in time, 50 and his group G Unit became one of the biggest groups within music. So everyone wanted to sign with with G Unit Records, or wanted to be affiliated with them. There was one artist on Diddy's record label, so that was Mace. 50 wanted Mace to sign to G Unit, and it seemed at the time that Diddy was also on board with this, until I think it came to negotiation times, because during the negotiation, I suppose the offer that was placed Diddy was not satisfied. So that Diddy reportedly asked for $2 million to let Mace out of his contract. And 50 felt insulted by that because he didn't feel like Mace was worth $2 million. And supposedly like was more of a power play from Diddy, essentially sabotaged the whole, I guess, deal from going ahead. So that was one of the first interactions or the first circumstances, but it caused quite a lot of friction between 50 and Diddy. What happened, and then 50, you know, as a rapper, as most of them do, you know, went on wax, released a diss track towards Diddy, and he makes an insinuation that Diddy knows who shot or who placed the hit for Biggie to be killed. Obviously, like, yeah, that wasn't well received by Diddy. We're gonna play a bit of the song right now, just so you can.
Damn. Got a little money, want flash. It's coming, it's coming. Blast gas, look to the metal, nigga, mash that. For your ass end up in the casket. I said in the casket. Woo! Who shot Biggie Smalls? We don't get them, they gon' kill us all. Man, Puffy know who hit that nigga, man, that nigga soft. He scared them boys from the west side to break them off. Jump on his ass, so we run the hall and shake him off.
Yeah, so that was one of the first initial issues they had with each other, and then fast forward years later, 50 finds himself in beef with you know, Miami rapper or rising star Rick Ross. So 50 goes to war with Rick Ross, and at that time Diddy was running around with Rick Ross quite a lot. So Diddy has this habit of affiliating himself with people who are buzzing and are hot in that time period, as a means to stay relevant. So Rick Ross was the up-and-coming guy, you know, he was the guy. 50, coming from the streets, has this mentality like, you know, if you're gonna affiliate yourself with my enemy, that makes you my enemy too. Whenever 50 you know, threw shots at Rick Ross, there was, you know, Diddy and essentially other people who are associated with Rick Ross were also catching strays. That was quite a frequent pattern between those two in their relationship. Like, for instance, when there was an incident in 2015 where Diddy was arrested for assaulting his son's football coach with a kettlebell. And as you can imagine, you know, 50 immediately took to social media and poked fun at Diddy. To top it off as well, so 50 and Diddy were both very successful businessmen. So as you can imagine, you know, for 50 to go from you know, once being the up-and-coming artist and now to becoming a rival with Diddy, that extended to their business relationship as well. So we're both very successful and both essentially competing for the same space. 50 had openly declared that he tends to position himself parallel to whoever is quite successful at the time, and I think that's just one of the ways he came up. So if Diddy's doing really well, he's gonna position himself to Diddy, so at least there can be that public kind of comparison, and that motivates him to kind of like even, you know, either do better or just go harder in that sense. And that mentality was very kind of like, it permeated to all aspects of 50's life. So 50 was actively promoting his alcohol brand FN Vodka during that time period, and Diddy had Ciroc. Both traded jabs at each other. There's been stories reverberating around the music industry about Diddy leading a certain type of lifestyle, and 50 shares a story about like back in the day, it was during his I'll play the video in a second. During his late manager Chris Lighty's wedding, Diddy approached him and, you know, embraced him as he does with most new artists, and essentially, like, you know, expressed to 50 that he wanted to take him shopping.
I get uncomfortable. Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago, at Chris Lighty's wedding. He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out of no, dude, take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
What you been getting out for over a decade? I asked 50 about that, and he said you did the same thing to him. You asked him to take him shopping.
Yeah, I thought he needed some clothes. What? I'm a nice guy.
Yo, why are you and Fifth just...
Hey, yo.
Why
50 didn't know what to make of it. He didn't take that very kindly, because, you know, he was very, very openly outspoken about not fucking with that kind of lifestyle. And Diddy, there's been stories going around, you know, within the industry about Diddy, you know, and the kind of parties that he tends to throw. And there's a lot of stuff that supposedly has been going down in these parties that we, you know, that we're now being made aware of through the recent, I guess, allegations being, you know, being made. But during that time, it wasn't really talked about. It was a known thing. It was a very well-known thing, but no one actively spoke about it. And 50 was one to always like outrightly speak about it, like not liking, you know, I'm not going to those Diddy parties. I'm not, you know. And there's a video, I think there's a video recently as well where he talked about, you know, he made fun about, like, I think it might have been Little Baby, a photo of little Baby circulated where he was at one of Diddy's all-white parties, and
That's why I don't be going to them puffy parties. They can hug you from the front and the back at the same time. What the fuck you talking about? Look, if you into that, I'm fine with it. To get you on. I'm just saying this ain't my motherfucking kind of party. I like it.
And it kind of like insinuates that there's a lot of certain types of behaviors or certain sexual things that are happening in these parties that 50 just didn't fuck with. So 50 didn't take too kindly to Diddy's invitation to go shopping. And essentially he felt emasculated. Like, how are you gonna ask another man to go shopping and etc, etc. But yeah, it was one of the earliest indications that, you know, of these things happening, I guess, yeah, being hosted by Diddy. When these stories started breaking out, and people started coming forward with allegations against Diddy, 50 also claimed that he was going to be making a documentary about P Diddy, called, like, essentially surviving, like, kind of like surviving R. Kelly, but like surviving Diddy. And he had a funny name for it, like Diddy Do It, which is obviously a wordplay on Diddy's name. Quite hilarious. Yep. So he oh, this man is too funny. He posted he posted a photo of Jay-Z, you know, on a milk carton, essentially saying missing because he's MIA, with this whole thing, issue, I guess, story unraveling. Diddy, like Jay-Z is nowhere to be found, which is quite hilarious. He had the caption, ain't nobody seen Jay. Puff said this nigga ain't answering his phone. And then he posts another photo of Jay-Z, and he captions, yeah, he's the last, he is Jay-Z last reported seen waving at Puffy's jet, which is hilarious as well. And then he posted, you know, when the, he made another post about, he was reposting other people's videos about this. Yep. And then he posted the poster of his infamous, I guess, soon to be documentary. Did he do it? And it says coming soon, and he's got the captions. This is gonna break records when this drops. Green light gang. You know the vibes. Fucking hell. Oh, this cunt is hilarious. And then he posted one. Okay, let's go a little bit forward as well. Okay, so outside of the posts about Diddy, there was a claim that 50 Cent's baby mother, who's called Daphne George, she's I think a model, and there was a couple of other girls who were listed as being on the payroll, actively getting monthly payments to provide sexual services. As you can imagine, 50 immediately took to social media, took to Instagram, and posted a few, started making fun of Daphne, right? So this post, he posted an article which talks about, about 50 allegedly looking to gain sole custody of his son. Then he posted another one. He says that you move a mile away in the hopes of having another baby with me, but I was busy. So you moved back, and now you started receiving money from Brother Love. Now here we are, a little sex worker. Oh fuck, man, he's so petty. This motherfucker's so petty. He's so petty. And then he posted, oh, this is like, yeah, this is a couple of days ago. Made a couple other reposts. What does this one say? Yeah, then he posts a photo of himself getting ready in the morning, putting his shoe on, and he goes, the caption goes, "Good morning, people. Let's focus on our goals and get some work done. Let's work hard to contribute to the world being a better place. All the work we do counts, even you little sex workers." Fuck it up. I don't know what's his problem, man. What the fuck is his problem? Like, that's his baby's mother. Like, that's the mother of his child. Like, it seems like with 50, like the line isn't very clear. Like, the line isn't very clear because he's just, yeah, he takes things very, very far, and I just don't know. Like, I don't know if there's a line of what he won't say, or if there's something that he won't attack. Because if you're going to that extent to make fun of your ex or your child's mother, knowing damn well that it's gonna reflect, or in some way it's gonna harm your child in some sort of form, because as you can imagine, like, what's size experience gonna be like? That's I'm talking about his son. So what's his experience gonna be like when the whole world is calling your mom a fucking whore, a slut, etc., etc.? You know what I mean? So, and then yeah, he just goes on, and then he posts another one. So this is like 2 days ago. Good morning. I fell asleep while early. Is anybody up? All y'all coming from the club? Got your little sex worker? Fucking hell, the sex worker thing. He's got no respect for sex workers. And then 50 reposted what Boosie said, and posted a photo of what seems to be Jeffrey Epstein merged Photoshop with Diddy's face. And then he had the caption, "Boosie said, where the fuck is his friends? They're not saying nothing because they didn't know he was recording everything. LOL, wait till I get the tapes." If you liked any of those stories, or I guess my coverage of this, please do subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button and notification bell so you can be notified every time that I have a new upload. I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you for tuning in, guys, and I will see you in the next video.